Oh, yeah. I think that if you have a legit, like, baseball player with that bat who isn't afraid to die, that ball doesn't go like 700 feet. It goes 1,000, probably way over 1,000. For those of you who don't know who this guy is absolutely nuts. His builds are nuts. Everything about him screams, I'm gonna build a fucking weapon of mass destruction.
Wanting to hit a ball further than the baseball distance record for quite a while. In another video, I made this explosive bat, which had all the right ingredients to do it. It would just constantly break when I pushed it to higher powers. I was only able to reliably hit a ball about 350 feet, which is a major league home run, but it's not setting any records. That's just unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Allow me to introduce Explosive Bat V2 and
Wait, what?
Explosive Bat V3, which is a double barrel 50 caliber baseball bat. It's powered by 27 caliber rifle blanks. I don't really see a reason why this wouldn't be regulation.
That's
this is the
just
type
nuts.
of thing where you do it once and they make a rule just for you. This bat is insane. And for the first time, we're gonna get to see some awesome slow-mo of how it works. And finally,
bro, he literally,
this
bat shoots.
So 575 feet. That's the longest verified home run. 575 feet is all the way out of the stadium. I've also decided that it only counts if I swing the bat for real. Going into this, I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be easy.
He doesn't even have good
as I got into
form.
the math, it turns out
He doesn't even
575
have
feet
good
is
form.
Really hard. The forces involved are insane. This is what happens to my wooden bat when you try to fire it with 3 shells. More on that later. I'm right up against the edge of what's possible, and just in making this thing, I crossed over that edge over and
this
over.
This is how the nerds win. 100%. Dude, he's probably almost killed himself with this.
Something really cool. I'm not
multiple
sure
times.
Though. Explosive Bat V2 is such a mouthful. Let's just call it the 50. I like how that sounds. After my last bat video, about 200 million people said I should do 3 shells. So I know it's disappointing. Everyone wanted me to do 3 shells, but I didn't. I did 4, which is 1 more. So
why?
Let me break down my plan for beating the record.
They said 3.
So for step 1, I'm gonna hit the ball really, really hard. That's about it. I'm gonna need a much stronger bat.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, this is perfect. So like I said, this bat is gonna be powered by 27 caliber.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I played baseball. And just like any good Dominican parenting, they thought I was definitely going to take baseball into college and hopefully make it into the major leagues, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to not play baseball if you're from the Dominican Republic. So anyway, this guy now has a metal bat. They asked him for 3 shells. He put in 4. This is exactly how the nerds win. Because when you can, what does this fall under? Is this engineering? When you can do this kind of shit, sometimes you just get bored, dude. Sometimes you just get bored.
I took this opportunity to totally rethink the bat. I've been obsessed with the idea of giving the bat just the tiniest tap and still hitting a home run. I call it the 4-gun salute. The entire end of the bat moves, and it has 4 individual firing mechanisms which actuate this 4-bar linkage. The force of the ball hitting the bat will fire all the shells.
Oh my god.
My new bat is so much easier to load than my old one. You just open the breech, load in your shells, up to 4, which is pretty scary actually. And check this out. Oh yeah, I am so excited about this. All right, let's put it to the test. I have my stand which lets me drop a ball onto a bat so I can try it out without putting myself in danger. It was this exact moment I realized I majorly screwed up.
Oh boy.
This bat is so much worse than my last one. It would probably break my wrists, which is a little scary. And check this out. I'm so not excited about this bat. It's too bad this thing is a complete...
Yo, imagine you talk down to him. You find him in a, like in a parking lot. Yo, let's take this outside. He goes into the back of his vehicle. He takes out a bat that looks absolutely like complete nonsense. It looks stupid. And then he takes out bullets and loads them into the bat. He cocks it. Is that a gun or is that a bat? Yes.
There's a lot of cool stuff to talk about if it had worked. I'm especially not going to get into the benefits of 4 separate firing mechanisms or the 12 iterations of the firing pins before I could finally get it to fire reliably. There's a really basic physics problem. For this to get launched up really fast and hard, there has to be an equal and opposite reaction forcing the handle down. This also generates a twisting force, which is
free physics lesson.
And because my hands are also bolted to the bat, they'll also get twisted and snapped. That's a problem. I should have done more engineering analysis, but I just wanted it too much, and I thought maybe for once I'd be able to fool nature, but it never works. Good night, sweet prince.
This whole thing is like a...
I started an entirely new design from the ground up.
So this whole thing could literally break your hands.
And the basic idea is that I'm going to take a slice out of an aluminum bat and
or your wrists.
Put this firing mechanism in there. And what will happen is when a baseball hits the top, this piece moves. It will fire the shells and then fly out super fast, launching the baseball. So here's what goes on inside the bat. If we peel back the outer layer of the steel,
he literally makes it so other people can build.
There's an assembly that can move like this. On this assembly, there's 2 firing pins here and here. And there's some blank cartridges down here. So when a ball comes in and hits this plate, this mechanism will move down and these firing pins will set off these cartridges, which
this
will
program is like
a ton of gas,
really advanced.
Will shoot down this tube and then up these 2 tubes.
It allows you to literally test the physics
super fast because the
pressure
pressure
is cool.
really, really high, and that will send the ball flying. When this flying piston gets to about here, these rods will come into contact with these blue springs. They're super, super stiff springs, and then they'll start to compress them, which will slow this piston down so that it doesn't shoot out. I'm just gonna give you a little taste of what it was like to make this. It was pretty intense.
I wonder how long this...
Machining. Almost everything is machined, which means lots of tools.
This just reminds me of Hacksmith.
Some really annoying problems.
But I think this guy's just infinitely less bored than Hacksmith.
This is the most complicated part, the chamber. The pistons are a very precise fit, as is the seal on the bottom that connects the chambers. Probably 90% of the time on this project was machining parts. It just feels morally wrong to be doing this to a bat. Kind of felt good too, though. This is how I mount everything to the bat with these welded on caps.
Stop. If anyone in chat can actually do this, I need you to tell me right now, because I want this. I want it.
I had some heat treated parts because they need to be very hard so they don't deform. There's the firing pins. Hopefully you can now go make my bat, except don't. I think it goes without saying, but don't try this at home. I know I sometimes pretend to be careless for laughs, but this is really serious business. I do an enormous amount of precautions, from engineering analysis to testing to wearing body armor. And it's no joke, doing this could kill you. So just live vicariously through me and don't do it. All right, let's give it a shot.
Fair. I still want it though.
So this is exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. It blew the piston out of the bat, and it also broke the test stand.
Good God.
Piece of the test stand.
Hey, what was that noise?
What noise?
Before he continues, I don't know if he knows, but telling people to not do something is the fastest way to get them to try and do that thing he said not to do.
Surviving these insane pressures is one of the reasons I have 2 smaller bores instead of 1 big one. You can think about the pressure and the bores pushing out in every direction. And the worst thing that the pressure does is it tries to split this in half. So you think of all the pressure acting along this surface, it adds up to trying to pull the whole thing apart. So the material's having to pull itself together to keep it from getting ripped apart. And as this hole gets bigger, the forces trying to rip the material in half also get bigger. And the only way I can make it not go pop as I do that is to make these walls thicker and thicker. So I want the holes to be smaller, but the problem is as the holes get smaller, the force pushing the pistons out also gets smaller. So it's a very delicate balancing act to go as small as I can while still getting the acceleration and force to launch the ball that I need. By the way, this phenomena of ripping the material apart is called hoop stress. And it's the main thing that sets the thickness of propane tanks and pipes and stuff like that. Having 2 bores also keeps things from twisting, and it distributes the force so the pushing plate can be wider without bending. The second big challenge with this bat is that the moving end will be going up to 200 miles per hour if it works. And my preference is to not shoot it out with the ball, so I have to stop it with stop rods, which compress these really stiff springs at the end of
math is a problem.
And the force generated by this is unreal. So for my bat, the forces are going to be up to 6,000 pounds to stop the piston. And it's all going to go straight into these stop rods and springs. That's 3 tons. That's almost the combined weight of both my cars.
And that's normally what you apply to a steel rod when you snap it in half.
I think these stop rods broke because I used a higher carbon steel, which hardened when I welded it. I made some with better steel. Let's try them. Looks good. Let's try 2 shells. Welcome to hell. Let me make things lighter, which will reduce the force.
Now this is a 20-minute video.
Let's try forged rods.
What do you think? How long do you think this
I
took
didn't
him?
realize my dog was down here. Also, they didn't work. Let's try different springs. Hey, something different. We didn't just break the rods, I also broke the bat. Alright, I've got better welds, better springs, high-grade steel, indestructible stops. Oh, finally.
Wow.
This thing has so much power, I love it. Here's the knife edge that I'm walking. I need these pistons to accelerate for as long as possible. The longer they accelerate, the faster they go. As soon as they hit the springs, they start slowing down, and that sets the top speed. I want the springs to be as short as possible so I get the maximum travel before I begin braking. But if the springs are too short, then my deceleration will be very harsh, which will snap the stop rods. This is why the ball goes faster when the stop rods break. There's no springs to slow it down, so it gets to accelerate longer. Have you ever wondered how to touch your wrist with all 10 fingers at the same time?
No thanks.
It's really easy. Just have the bat go off while you're pushing like this.
Here's what I came up with to keep my
No,
fingers
did it
safe.
actually
I've got the
happen?
pusher. If the system blows, there's no appendages in the path, and there's no loops around my fingers to deglove them. If you don't know what degloving is, don't look it up.
Wait a minute. He just told me not to look up degloving. I mean, I said it. I'm degloving. Guys, don't look up degloving. He was right, dude. He was right.
It stays in the bat until it's ready to be used. That way, if you drop the bat or something, nothing happens. This is how I keep my fingers pointing the right way.
So I think it's time for me to test this thing. And I'm a bit worried about the kick. I mean, just look at how it's slamming the wood.
Oh my god.
But I don't know how I'm going to get more information than I already have, so I'm just going to go for it.
I'm not scared. I mean, seriously, what do I have to be scared of? Look, I'm not scared. Why
Yeah.
would I be scared?
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's a little cold down here. Oh, wow. This bat feels awesome. There's very little kick, actually. It looks like I'm getting about 75 to 100 miles per hour off the tee with one shell.
Wow, dude.
Which is a real improvement over the previous bat.
What kind of torque do you think he feels
You notice
on
it's
the
super
bat?
quiet. All the exhaust gas comes out of these ports on the side of the chamber and gets routed to the top of the bat through the support bracket that's also a gas manifold. The top of the bat is packed with stainless steel wool. If I made it out of regular steel wool, it would probably catch on fire. I kind of wish it was louder. No exhaust sounds like this.
Wow, dude.
You can't not smile. All right, let's see how far we can hit outside. Looks like I'm getting about 300 feet off one cartridge. Let's see how 2 does. That was a terrible hit, and that was really loud. Sounded like a gun. That sound was the dying breath at the breech.
The breech is a piece of steel that sits behind the shells and
Dude,
it keeps them from popping
none
out
of
the
this seems
chamber when you
safe
fire
at
them.
all.
The pressure of firing
Zero
them was
of
to
it.
shoot them out really hard. And I didn't feel like properly designing this part, so I did the old engineering trick of just making it out of fixed steel. And that usually works. This is the first time that's ever failed me. So to fit any more steel in here, I'm going to have to redesign and remake this top end. I hate doing things the right way, but there's no way it's going to survive at 3 and 4 shells if I don't do this. Alright, new design for the top piece, made and machined. It lets me have a solid 1/2-inch steel breech. I did my homework this time, and this should definitely probably
This is like
not
really
bend.
good insight
It is
into
now 5 a.m. and this is the
what
only
kind of work
time
it
I can
really
attempt
takes
a
to
500
do
or 600
something
foot hit at this field because
the
I don't
proper
wanna
way
worry
with
about
research.
600 foot foul balls and people.
So
What do you call that?
sucks. I
R&E?
took one hit and
Or something like
the bat
that?
broke. It was also the wimpiest hit ever. It went like 10 feet. I think
Or
it's the ball
R&D.
right there.
R&D.
Oh man, the damage is worse than I thought.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So here's what I think happened. A ball came in and just barely hit the corner or edge or something, which was
This is
enough
like
to fire
truly-
the system. As the
truly
system started moving, it just
Single
kinda
man
pushed the ball to the
R&D right
side,
here.
and then it was free to shoot out like a rocket. This made it slam into the stop springs much harder. So they were pulling down super hard this way, which bent it into this very annoying potato chip shape. I would really strongly prefer it not bend in half like this whenever I have a bad hit, so that means I get to redesign and rebuild the top end again. I think you know the drill at this point.
I've made so many of these.
Damn,
Overall,
son.
I've made more than 100 custom machine parts for these bats. I hope I can get this working, because it would be a huge waste of time. Although, let's be real, it's a waste of time anyway. All right, we're going all the way to 4 shells just to see what happens. 1 shell, piece of cake as always. Here's 2, looking good. I haven't done 3 yet because it keeps breaking. But it's surviving many times in a row. This is fantastic.
All right.
Now 4.
Now we're getting super dangerous.
Oh my gosh. The power is unbelievable. But unfortunately...
Did it break? It broke.
Yeah.
Yep, it sure did.
But just look at that kick. Oh man, I really want to fire this. 4 shells shattered my grade 12.9 bolts.
So
which is good. That means I'm getting a lot more.
when are we gonna
force
get
than I
this in the
thought I
major
was.
leagues? Is what
Where
I
did
want to
the
know.
Screw heads go. Found them. Man, those must have gone flying. And then I had kind of a big brain moment, which is I'm putting all this effort into making these stop rods not break, but the stop rods can't break if there are no stop rods, right? All right, it's time to pull out all the stops. This bypasses the muffler and makes it so much more satisfying to use. A good friend is letting me use his property, and this is really important because of the whole no stop rod situation. I'd prefer the piston not go flying 600 feet, so I've tied it to this bucket with Kevlar line. It's like a little parachute. Here's how far the ball goes without any charges. So we did a little horsing around with 1 shell, and then we gave it 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can say that again.
That was pretty good. So they're claiming the ball went all the way over the trees into the neighbor's yard, which is incredible. There it is.
It didn't break the ball?
708 feet.
But it only counts if I swing it, so time to get suited up and give it a whack.
This guy is
Foul ball.
dedicated.
The foul ball was actually my piston flying into the woods, so you know what that means. I get to remake it. 710 feet is incredible, and it totally obliterated Babe Ruth's record, and it made me realize I'm really close to breaking another record. There are these guys down in Alabama, I think, some guy named Dusty or something. They made this bat spinning machine that was hitting the ball, they say, 720 feet. I think I can beat that if I can tune the system. The problem I'm having is I can't see what's going on, and...
We've been planning this for weeks, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is this...
Let's go do it.
This is like holding a Ferrari.
Oh, okay, so that's the guy. Wait a minute. Is this like a bunch of engineers just riffing on each other like, hey, dude, I made a bat that can literally break everybody's record. Oh, yeah? Well, I made a freaking lightsaber, dude.
Let's combine our powers and let's just do awesome things.
So we're using Destin's high-speed camera to figure out what's actually going on, and then use that knowledge to do even more awesome things.
Oh yeah, like cheap Chinese fireworks is what that smells like.
All right, the first real hit. Really cool. You can see the
How does
stop
that-
springs bouncing.
How does
And
that
this is
not
how I
immediately
expected the
explode
to
that ball?
interact with the bat.
It's more like launching it. So a normal collision is like 500 microseconds or something. This is
3.5 milliseconds of contact.
it's an eternity.
There are organisms that lived and died in that amount of time.
The thing I was most excited to see was 4 shells destroying everything.
That looks badass.
That was really cool, but where was the destruction? Oh, there it is. Destroyed the stop springs. I know where to get some destruction. Let's hit the wooden bat.
3, 2, 1. Wait. We gave another countdown.
Oh
Sorry.
my gosh, dude,
got-
come on,
It got
dude.
stuck.
All right. Oh, golly.
It's like by a thread. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
1.
Okay. How can he just destroy something that took him so long to build?
I am so glad I didn't try swinging this bat with 3 shells.
That's the first time you fired 3 in the bat?
Yeah.
Really?
That's why I didn't fire 3 in the back, so I had a good feeling this is what was going to happen.
This video is already too long for me to get into the weeds of all the stuff we saw and everything we learned, but a lot of cool stuff. Destin is going to be making a video going more into the weeds that I'm just glossing over here. So you should check it out on Smarter Every Day if you are one of the 3 people.
Oh, I've been to Smarter Every Day. I didn't know that.
He's diving into the details of what
I
happens
know
when
that
a ball
was
hits
this
the
guy's
bat.
name, though.
It's not really a bounce. It's weird. When I first met Destin, it just did not compute. I was like, how can someone be this nice and cool? Something's off here. What is he really up to? But it turns out that's just how he really is. So go check out his stuff and you're not going to regret it. The last thing I really wanted to see is 4 shells with no stops.
Whoa, dude.
My God.
Cool.
My people have called me. Yeah. Holy cow.
We're out here trying to beat Babe Ruth's record and Destin's record by hand. It is difficult because I am not very good at swinging a bat, which the high speed makes extremely clear.
I think the technical term for this
I do
is
love
loft.
high-speed cameras.
Have you heard of that term?
No.
It stands for, watch, I'll show you right here, which stands for lack of freaking talent.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Oh, my goodness.
Roasted.
I'm terrified of this thing.
I am too. Mostly
Yeah, 'cause
because
it's
I know
gonna-
the guy that made it.
Because you know it's gonna crush your record.
Oh, is that what we're doing? We're in the smack talk area now? Yeah, you're pretty
Well, I
tough when you
see-
got body armor
I
on.
see why you'd be afraid of it. We got a couple alright hits. Then we got this hit, which flew forever. And then this quad was about 50 milliseconds from getting completely pulverized, which would have been awesome. The control system on these
They
quads
had
is just unbelievable. How this didn't crash is just spectacular.
They had a drone coming in
This
from
hit
the back,
looked
too.
amazing. It was
That's
flying
sick.
over the trees. It looked at least as good as the other 700-footer. Unfortunately, we don't have a camera behind me because Destin was too busy trying to crash my quad and dealing with the high speed, and I was too busy trying not to die. We did see where it went. The only problem is it landed in this field. This is like finding a spherical needle in the world's largest haystack. I searched with the quad. I searched on foot. I searched for hours. And I thought for sure this was it. That's some stupid mushroom. If the bat was still working, I would destroy this mushroom. Been out here for 3-4 hours. This is the ball that's just not meant to be found. I'm 99%
So just
sure
hit it
I
again,
broke
man.
Babe Ruth's record because it went over the road, which is right at the record line. But did I beat Destin? I just don't know. And it's bugging me.
You can come to Alabama. Would you consider that?
If we can fire the supersonic baseball cannon at it.
Well, yeah, duh. What were you, I mean, like, what were you even talking about?
I mean, just think about it. Mad batter,
This
plus this, plus supersonic baseball cannon.
all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. What happened?
We italicized it.
Oh, dude. So we have the letter pi now.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Unless we can find the other one. I just realized that this would be so easy to turn into a golf club. Let me know if you think that'd be worth doing. These videos are very costly to make and take an enormous amount of time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out, and it also helps you out because you'll be in the loop when I post new stuff. If you'd like to support these videos directly, you can check out my Patreon. And the final way you can help out is by checking out any video sponsors.
But, I mean, shout out to this guy for putting in that much effort just for our entertainment. I mean, seriously. Legitimately, he could have just killed himself trying to do something like this. So what's stuff made here? How am I not subscribed to this? He also did